Welcome to Streams of Income, hosted by best-selling author and entrepreneur Dr. David Powers, where we discuss streams of income, passive income, residual income, and even why there are dinosaurs and zombies in this intro. Fasten your seatbelts and get ready to dive in.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Streams of Income podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you are willing to give me some of your time to listen to either a business lesson or an interview with an amazing entrepreneur. So once again, thank you for listening to the Streams of Income podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. All right, folks, we are here with Coach Bobby Ruff, Liberty High School, and apologize for the video. We're having to do this on the phone, Wi-Fi issues and all that. But I want to talk about coaching as a career path. And Coach here has been in the game for a long time. I mean, he looks young. I mean, way younger than me. There's no gray or anything. But he's been in coaching for a long time and at the highest levels, too. And kind of coming back home, in a sense, to the head football coach of this team, where one of my kids has already played 4 years, and I've got another son that's on the team right now. And how are you enjoying Liberty?
It's awesome, man. I was at Easley in 2021. I was the defense coordinator there for 2 years, and I always knew this place was a gold mine. You've got just the support from not only the parents and the community. You have great participation, and this place is begging for wins. Not even just on the field, but just wins in life. And that's the one thing I saw consistently whenever I was at Easley was, you can win. These places, it's got everything you need. You just needs the right people at the right time with the right scheme, the right parent involvement. But this place is the best hidden gem in South Carolina.
Yeah, I love it too. I mean, we moved here from Myrtle Beach. I went to college nearby, and I love the area. I love the small town feel, but it's still got things. And we're close enough to the big city to where we can have the nice things, but it's still pretty cool. So, how long have you been a coach?
So I got into coaching right after I played college football at Charleston Southern. So I played for Jamie Chadwell at Charleston Southern from 2014 to 2017.
What position?
Played outside linebacker.
Okay.
And then did a couple pro days, had a chance to play in the NFL. I had 2 shoulder surgeries, and I was a good college football player, but to be elite and you got to go play in the NFL, I wasn't that type of player, and I had a bunch of injuries. The biggest thing for me and the career was I ended up coaching at my crosstown rival at the Citadel. Yeah. And so I did that for 2018, 2019, 2020. I started out as a GA, a graduate assistant working with the secondary, working with the safeties, and was blessed to get a full-time job being the tackles and tight ends coach in the triple option offense at 22 years old. And so I was a Division I football, coach, full-time coach at 22 years old. But I was working in a position that I had no idea what I was doing. Like, I had never coached offense. I had never coached tackles and tight ends.
But you made it work.
But I made it work, and it was the best thing that ever happened in my career. And then the following year, I got moved to coaching inside linebackers, where I did that for 2 years. Got blessed with some really, really good players that bought into my style of coaching. Developed the 2020 Southern Conference Defensive Player of the Year. He ended up getting drafted in the NFL, and it was awesome. Then I did it for another year, and then I decided I was like, I want to take a step back from college. So I took a high school defense coordinator job at Easley. Was there for 2 years. Ended up going to the playoff for the first time in 10 years. It was the first time we hosted a playoff game in 15 years.
And this was on the tail end of the pandemic too?
It was, everything was everything was finally starting to come back to some sense of normalcy. And then Coach Chadwell gets the job at Liberty University, and I told the head coach at Easley, Coach Dura, the only way I'll leave is if Coach Chadwell calls me or I get a head coaching job where I can't turn down. So it was either Liberty University with Chadwell or it was hopefully going to be Liberty High School. And that wasn't going to be, the case at Liberty High School because they weren't looking for a coach, and I couldn't turn down Coach Chowell. Was at Liberty University in 2023. We went 13-0. Played in the Fiesta Bowl. Played against Oregon. It was a great experience. It was won the Conference USA championship, and it was the first conference championship ever in school history.
Yeah.
Then in 2024, and I was the outside linebackers coach, and worked with defensive line and outside linebackers. Did that in 23, 24, and then moved to the assistant inside linebackers coach last year. And then when this job came open, I told Chowell, hey, if I get off this job, I'm going. and I did, thank God. And he said, yeah, go do it. Go run your program.
Nice. And before that graduate assistant job, the very first one, had you considered coaching as a profession, or was it a way to stay in football?
I knew, my mom always tells the story that when I was younger, I always loved football, always loved wrestling, but my mom said that when I was about 5 years old, I ran around saying I wanted to be a Super Bowl coach. I wanted to be the Super Bowl coach. And my mom's like, well, there's different coaches in the Super Bowl. And I was like, yeah, I want to be the Super Bowl coach. But I always knew I wanted to be a coach.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. And so, all right, so college level, you have to educate me a little bit. So college level, you don't have to teach classes. That's your full-time job.
That's your full-time job.
Now, high school, are you going to have to teach classes, or does the head football coach not have to?
So no, I'll teach classes.
Okay.
I'm certified to teach English.
Okay.
And so I'll teach one class in during the season. So first period I'll have an English class. Second period I'll have planning. Third period I'll have lunch duty, and then fourth period we're going to get everybody involved, JV, varsity, into the fourth period.
Yeah.
Second semester I'll teach 2 classes, first and second period.
Okay. Seems like a lot, though. I mean, you almost get a feel that, or you tell me, I mean, with everything that goes on in a head coach job at a high school, not having to teach classes would definitely be easier, I assume? Or?
It would be easier, but it's also, it's a double-edged sword. It would be easier on me not having to teach, but there would be some issues where, the teachers in the building, they'd be like, well, he doesn't have to teach, and he does all this stuff. I don't mind it. And I actually prefer it because it gives me a chance to get into the classroom and build relationships with the teachers and get them to get involved in our program.
Yeah, and also be around a lot more students than just the team.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I guess people in some sense, in some places anyway, not so much here isn't the vibe, but they look at football as like the elite, that's where all the money goes and everything else. Liberty, being a small town, small school, it feels different.
Yeah, it does. We're all going to share the same athletes, like basketball, football, track, baseball. We're all going to share the same athletes. And how do we come up with a plan and devise a plan to be able to maximize our potential with our programs and our players?
Yeah. So if a kid is in, let's say they're in high school now and they're considering high school football as a career path, would you say, play ball, definitely, keep playing ball, but go to school to be a teacher is a possible?
Yeah, if you want to be my biggest regret was I went to college and started out wanting to be in education.
Okay.
I changed that, and I always knew I wanted to coach, and I was like, well, I'm going to get a communications degree because I wanted to have a backup plan just in case I didn't want to go and coach and teach, where I wanted to be a college football analyst or be on ESPN. So I did public relations and things like that. But the best career path from my point of view is if you're going to be a high school football coach and that's what you want, go to college and get certified to teach.
Yeah.
Because one, it makes you more hireable, and you're going to have to teach anyway if you want to coach high school football.
Okay.
But there's also another avenue where if you still want to coach high school football but you don't want to teach, you can be an adjunct coach for a program. Like I've got, I just hired three guys and retained about 5 of them. And 4 of those guys are adjunct coaches where they work a job and then they come to practice and they're still involved.
Okay. All right. So that's definitely another avenue then, especially if you specialize. It seems like that might be an easier avenue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. And all right. So in the old days, and looking from the outside, the pinnacle of coaching was always, got to be top level college or NFL. But some people might see it as backtracking. But I mean, we've seen Bill Belichick going back from the NFL to college, and so. Is this kind of what you've always wanted?
It's funny because in high school, I never wanted to be a high school football coach. I wanted to be a college football head coach and wanted to one day coach the NFL. The older I got and the further I got into my career, I realized that in college and the way the game has changed, that it is not as much relationship based as it used to be when I was playing. It is a lot more transactional, and the development isn't as important at college now. It's still important, but it's not what it
like
used
the old
to be.
days.
And when I was at Easley, it was the best experience I had because I got to come from college, coach in high school, then go back to college, and I got to basically look at both of them. What did I like about high school? What did I like about college? And what I found out, and when I decided I wanted to be a high school head football coach, was it is all about relationships. It is all about development. You're not paying players. They are doing this because this is what they love. They're doing it for the love of the game. And I love that. I am big on relationships and I'm big on development. Like, if you are going to be invested and be bought into this program, I'm going to develop you and I'm going to invest my time into you. And I'm going to take you to a place you can't take yourself. In college, it's a little bit harder because now you have to deal with, you can have a great relationship with a player, and you're only paying them, $30,000. But if he has a good season, he might get an opportunity to go make some more money somewhere else. And as a 18, 19, 20-year-old, kid, who's this? You can make a lot of money playing college football. And so it's become way more of a business as it used to be. High school football is more genuine, and you've got issues that you can work through and that you'll run into, but the development, the relationships, and just being able to build something is why I want to be a head coach.
College football has gotten weird because on the one hand, players deserve something, but it's gotten, there's less distinction between college and NFL on the transactional side of things.
You won't see as many guys declare early for the NFL. One, because you're Power 5 guys. If you're a draftable, if you're one of the 253 draft picks, like if you were to have a crystal ball and like these are the 253 guys that are going to get drafted, and this is their junior year, why would they leave early and go to the NFL when they're making the same amount, if not more, of what they would make in the NFL over a certain amount of time? So you're seeing guys playing college now that are really good players for 5, 6, 7 years. And then going to the NFL and they have a 2-year career and so forth, but they made more money in college up to this point.
And you're top of the totem pole at college. You go to the NFL, you're the bottom guy.
100%.
Why not? And if you're looking at it, if it's more of a business thing than the love of the game, why not treat it as a business opportunity? And
absolutely. And I always told, like, when I would recruit players, I would say, hey man, listen, you come in as a freshman, and if you're good enough to play as a freshman, you have a good season, like, we will help you go somewhere else and go make a lot of money. Do it while you can, because you have a chance to set yourself up generationally at a young age if you do it the right way. And how am I, how is it good leadership from me as a coach, tell them to not do that? It is selfish on my part, because I would do the same thing if I was in their shoes. If the opportunity is presented to me, why would you not do it? But also being able to give them the tools of, hey, let's get you into some financial literacy. Let's be able to show you how to manage the money, because you're going to make an incredible amount of money. But then whenever you get done and you don't go play in the NFL, say if you're making $100,000 at Liberty University and you graduate, you're gonna, and you don't play in the NFL, you might have to take a job where it's going to be a $40,000 job. How are you going to change your lifestyle? Right? So those are some of the things that it's changed drastically, but it's also kids can benefit in the long run from it.
Those are the stories I love out of the NFL. More so than the career highlights is the guy, the middle of the road guy that's in the NFL for a few years and then comes out and starts a business or buys into something or starts a nonprofit. I love those stories. All right, so you have done an amazing job coming into town and building up the feeder program from rec on up. And I've had kids in rec going on 6 years now. feed into this program. And so, I mean, you established the citywide practices on Wednesdays, which was a lot of fun. I mean, from varsity on down to flag football. But the most impressive thing for me is how many of your players right now are actually coaching flag football teams.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, because I mean, my youngest son, 2 of your players are his head coaches, and their first game they beat one of the more established stack teams, which was pretty cool. And then my son Gideon he's assistant coaching. So guys like that are already thinking in high school, I want to be a football coach. I'm not aiming for the NFL or anything else. What would you say to encourage them?
The best advice that I got that I take to where I'm at now, it was from Coach Chadwell. And install your culture before you do anything else. Know what your culture is. Mm-hmm. Don't copy and paste it from somebody else. Like, what do you believe in? You know, what do you want your program to look like? What are your core values? What's your standard? Come up with those ideas. And at the younger age you do it, it might change drastically. But by the time you're, a sophomore in high school and you're a head flag football coach for an AU team, and then you're now 20-something years old and you have a chance to, be a head coach or, be a coordinator or just be a position coach, know what you want your program to look like. Yeah. And don't be afraid to make it your own. And once you know what you want, go all in on it.
Yeah.
Don't devise from your standard. Like, never let the standard be compromised. Never let your program slip because you allow certain things that don't live up to the standard.
Yeah. Okay, and they are tough. I mean, I can see some of the things they bring from practice onto the practice with the little kids. They're not as physically demanding because they're little kids, but they don't let up on them.
Oh, absolutely.
That's pretty good.
It was when he told me that, I was like, okay, I know what I want it to look like. Now, how do I implement it?
Yeah.
And the best advice I could give them on top of, what I just previously said, don't be afraid to be wrong. Like, I've had this job, I've kept account. I've had this job now for 87 days. And I'm going to keep account of by the time when I got hired to, whenever I leave, and I want to be here. I want to be here until I die.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be the longest tenured head coach here. I want to be the winningest head coach here. Like, I want to make this the best football program in the state of South Carolina.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure that whenever I'm telling kids and explain to them what it looks like to be a coach, never be afraid to be wrong, because you are going to be wrong. And in 87 days being here, I've been wrong a lot of times and I've had to figure it out.
Yeah.
But don't have an ego. Don't be the guy that says, "Oh, I know all the answers," because you don't. I definitely don't.
Yeah.
I found that out really quick. I don't.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to at least another 8 years with you, with my kids. All right. So, last question. We'll get personal on this one. So, if anybody, a player, a student, anybody like that, walked up to you and said, "Coach, I need some resources to help me be successful in life." Mm-hmm. So, the Bible is the obvious one. So that one aside, what 3 books have a permanent place on your shelf that people say, "Hey, is there something you could recommend I read or something to be more successful?" Mm-hmm. What would your recommendations be?
So I tried to do a really good job of reading. I started out being a book a month. So 12 books.
That's ambitious.
And I did it last year, and I was like, okay, that was a lot. Now I'm gonna do one every 2 months. I'm a big Jocko Willink guy.
Oh yeah.
And so I
heard you last night. Discipline equals freedom.
Yeah, I love. Extreme ownership is great. Atomic Habits is another one. And the Dichotomy of Leadership.
Okay, that's the only one I've not read. The Dichotomy. So.
Dichotomy is great because it breaks everything down with here's a leadership style. Here's an example of it. Here's how you implement it, and here are the issues with it.
Okay.
And so there's all these dichotomies of leadership that they give you. He gives you real life examples and tells you how to deal with it. What are the issues you might run into, and gives you a full explanation of it.
Yeah, and Jocko is pretty cool from the aspect of he's actually lived it under the worst circumstances possible.
Yep. And so that's been our word of the year for our football team is embrace. And so we'll have a different word every year based off of what we had the previous season. And each player is going to have a word. And so whenever I bring them in, and I'm going to say, your word is greatness, but you're missing class. You said this word's important to you.
Yeah.
How are you living up to your word? Like, my word this year is uncomfortable, because this is going to be the most uncomfortable year I've ever had in my life. But as Jocko says, like, you failed. Okay, good. Now you learned.
Yeah.
And so looking at the negatives and looking at the uncomfortability, and if you can say the word good, then you can be unbeatable.
Yeah. Awesome. Any final thoughts?
Now, I just appreciate, I appreciate you, for the opportunity. I love doing these kind of things, and just want to be able to explain the program.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to help future coaches.
Yeah.
I want to be able to, if people decide to be a coach, I want to do everything I can to make sure that, one, they're prepared, but they also know what they're getting themselves into, because it's a tough profession.
Well, I mean, it's interesting, like we were talking about earlier with your player coaches. I mean, you've got kids looking up to you, not just, hey, coach, can you help me get into college, but how do I become a coach like you?
And it's a great thing, because whenever they do something, now they're my players, and they're coaches for a flag football team. When their kids mess up, they might get upset. So when they mess up and I'm upset, now they understand. And so it would be awesome to have a whole team full of flag football coaches, because then it's like, hey, you guys are doing this. Whenever a kid does something, you get upset. Now you understand my frustration.
And your players are coaching your future players.
Exactly.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for joining in. Let me enjoy the offices and everything. And
yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Hey, everybody. Before we close out, first of all, I hope you enjoyed that podcast, whether it was an interview with an amazing entrepreneur or a business lesson for me. I sincerely hope that you gain something from it that you can use in your life moving forward. Before I leave, though, I need to mention that this podcast is sponsored by Lowe's Home Improvement Stores. I have become a Lowe's creator. It's a pretty cool thing, because on this farm, I'm looking out the window right now and seeing all the things that I want to do around here. Most of these things I can do with products from Lowe's Home Improvement. And so I'm excited to be a Lowe's creator. If you want to check out some things from them and order some stuff and see my specially curated Lowe's storefront, you can click in the show notes. There's a link there for you. And I hope you build some amazing things. And hey, you know what? If you do, send me pictures. I would absolutely love to see the amazing things that you're building at your house using Lowe's products or anything else, really. I'm just curious. I want to know everything about you and everything about the cool projects you're doing, because I'll be honest with you, I get some neat ideas for things I want to do at my house as well. All right, y'all take care. Thanks for listening.